Hey y'all, it's Brandy. I get asked the same question often, so I thought I would get on and give you guys a response since I had a moment. And something recently happened when I was out with a friend that is going to be the story in this as well. So the question is, on my normal day-to-day, when I am not working, when I'm going to the grocery, when I'm with my friends, does spirit come through? Are they constantly bombarding me? The answer is no. I am not just a wide open channel anymore. I have learned how to work with spirit and create boundaries, and we have a mutual respect for the most part. So as a psychic, on a normal day-to-day, if I'm going in the grocery or if I'm passing people, going for a walk or with friends, I will get psychic hits, is what I will call it. But I will never just sit there and read people, because that for me is none of my business. It's crossing a line. I don't have permission. So of course I'm going to get random energy hits because we're all in each other's energy. Just like you probably have passed someone and kind of cringed at their energy and said, I don't trust them, and you don't even know them. So it's the same kind of thing. Or another time where you just want to be next to somebody and you don't even know them, and they just feel like, I don't know, light and fluffy and heavenly. So the same kind of thing. But when it comes to spiritual connection, that is a different thing, and it did cause a lot of issues in my youth because I didn't know that it was spirit at all. So I am, all of my senses are heightened. My clairsentience, which is a clear feeling, is one of my strongest. So what this means is I physically feel how your loved ones have passed. I physically feel their emotions, their joy, their anger, their sadness, their regrets, how they loved you. I physically feel all kinds of stuff. Cool if I'm in a session. So every once in a blue moon, I am out with a friend or out randomly, and I will start getting a physical sensation that is beyond my normal. So, as I'm clearing my throat, and I'm doing this because I'm about to tell the story about this, so Spirit's like, hey, I'm here. So I went out with a friend, a new friend. I met her about a year and a half ago. We reconnected. We went to lunch. It was wonderful. She has the most amazing laugh, like so joyful that is contagious. We're having so much fun. I went to a new lunch place that had fleur-de-lis all over it, which felt really synchronistic to New Orleans, and we were just having a good time. She knew I was a medium, did not have any expectations. We just wanted to connect as spiritual beings, as friends, to get to know each other. So right now I have seasonal allergies, so every once in a blue moon I am coughing, or clearing my throat. So we're probably like an hour in to lunch, and all of a sudden my throat, you can audibly, like she could hear it, she could see me, as I am telling a story actually about my son, my throat starts kind of like gargling, like I need to clear it. I'm literally being cut off as I'm speaking. I cannot get the words out. I kind of start choking. I was telling her, I'm so sorry, I have allergies. And then I would try to go back to the story, and it's getting worse, and it's drastic, and it's out of nowhere. And I'm like, okay, that's when I know, okay, I haven't been paying attention to spirit because I'm doing my own thing. I'm not working, but somebody is here trying to get my attention. So they're going to do what they can to cut me off, to let it be known in some way that, like, hey, can you do this for me? It's really, really important. So Normally when that happens, because it's so infrequent, I do allow it. I ask the person that I'm with if they would like a message, and if they say yes, then I will, what I call, tap in to the feeling I'm getting, to the spirit who is with me. I will give a quick kind of couple of validations of who it is and a message, and I will be done, and I will say, okay, spirit, like, you gotta let me live my life. Like I said, for the most part, they're super respectful. So, so when you are my client sitting in front of me, this is kind of a natural thing. I say I feel a lot, and I let you know that ahead of time. So it's not like a scary thing, but you can physically see me change and hear it as well. But when I'm off with friends and people I don't know, and it starts to happen, and if I were to just verbalize that, it could be scary. And this example I'm giving is when I finally asked her if she would like a message. She said yes. I said, I feel like I'm drowning. I feel like I'm drowning in my own fluids. Like, I can't breathe. And I keep having to clear my throat, but I can't. I said, but in saying that, I also want to say that he did not suffer. So I told her who it was. I said, he went fast. He did not suffer. Even if he voiced that, he said he was already half in, half on the other side. So his consciousness, his spirit was already transitioning. And when he felt that and voiced that, it could have been scary to her or whoever was around, and even to him for a split second, but like he said, it was just a split second, and his spirit is free, and he went on and gave other validations. But she could take all of it. She said, actually, he said those exact words. It was her dad, and she did say that he felt like he was drowning before he passed. So that's kind of how it works. They also make me feel beautiful, beautiful things as well. But my friends, my mediumship friends and I were talking about how kind of crazy, wild, amazing it is that we get to experience this through them, and our clients are able to experience it in a way, but it's in a beautiful way, in a healing way, but it's like they know that their people are there. And some people don't want to know at all, but there's something significant about the passing that spirit wants to talk about, which is kind of why it's brought up. So another thing is, this goes for every kind of thing that you could imagine in a passing. So from an absolutely peaceful passing to an absolutely awful, we experience it. Not all of us, but a lot of mediums do physically experience that. So for a heart attack, I will physically feel like I'm having a heart attack. What happens is, or what had happened, oh my God, when I was younger, I was feeling all these things. I was an empath. So I don't just feel it from spirit, I feel it from people in our walking life too. And I was like a sponge. And so I was absorbing all of these different experiences from others and then carrying it as my own. So I would have all these weird illnesses, I mean, not terrible illnesses, but I would have all these weird feelings, and it truly felt like they were my own. With cancer, I will feel sickness throughout my entire body. With an aneurysm, I will feel like such a sharp, in one very specific spot in my brain, stabbing type of feel. And until I acknowledge it, it doesn't go away. So I'll give you one more example. Years ago, I was doing work for a really big company in New Orleans, and I was reading when I say reading, like, I had a client who was one of their top dogs, and I was going to be working with him, but I wanted him to have his own experience. Days before his session even came up, I was in a cafe minding my business, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, I felt like I was insanely sick with the flu. So sick. I had to go home. Like I told the barista, who's my friend, and I was like, I need to go home. I don't know what's wrong. I felt pain all in my neck. I felt sick throughout my entire body, like I was gonna throw up. Like I was just so nauseated and just sick. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm done. I'm out for the week is what it felt like. So I went home. I slept for like 6 hours. Woke up, I was completely fine. And I'm like, what the hell? Spirit? That's when I know it's spirit, because like it feels like my own. So I had a conversation. I was like, do not come back. If you do come back, I will not be your vessel for spiritual communication. I said, if your client is the one that I'm seeing on Wednesday for this big company, I said, you need to wait until he's in front of me, and you have to be the last spirit to come through. You can make me feel that again at that time, and then you've got to release it. If I feel it at any point before, I'm not communicating. So he did. He waited. I brought through like 5 or 6 people. He was the last one. Ended up being the guy's partner who just passed, had tumors all on his neck, and his entire body was filled with cancer. So I was absolutely feeling him 3 days earlier. Had no idea because my mind wasn't on that. So since then I've learned a lot about boundaries and how to protect myself, but I feel like it's such a beautiful thing and weird thing in a way too, that spirit is able to manipulate the energy to the point where they can affect my physicality and allow not only me to feel it, but my clients or friends or whoever they're coming in for can visually and audibly experience that as well. I've never really had a moment where where it didn't turn into some kind of healing moment, because it does sound like, oh, I don't want to experience my loved one like going through that again. It's quickly turned into, this is the reason they're sharing this, and it turns into like just a beautiful healing moment. And this is another thing that came through today with a client, is that I've got to pay attention to what I'm saying too, because these messages are a lot of times like things that I need to hear as well, which is very interesting. So it's not for everything. Clearly, you know, if it's an end of life thing, it's very, very specific. But I don't know. I just thought that was cool. So, you know, for people who have not experienced a medium or are curious, do we walk around reading everyone, having spiritual communication all the time? The answer is no. That would be so insanely overwhelming, and was in my younger years. I do communicate with spirit all the time, but it's like my spirit guides and loved ones, not other people's. And just because I feel like they're always around and they're always a part of my life. But no, it takes a lot of energy to do the work that I do. And I take a lot of pride in it, and I respect the work that I do, and I want to do a really good job for spirit and for my clients too. But I want to make sure that I'm delivering the messages that they want to share, and be the clearest and most concise that I can be. So I hope you guys enjoyed this story. I hope I brought it all the way around. Sometimes I lose track. But have a blessed Sunday, and I hope to see you guys again soon. Bye.